All right, guys. Hey, let's get this training started, man. How's everyone's weekend? How's everyone's weekend? Hey, man, listen, we have an awesome training in store. Listen, make sure before we get training started, man, make sure that you guys are hydrating, taking your vitamins, right? Because obviously winter is to drink a lot of water, and winter is coming, right? And we're not used to this cold weather, right? So make sure that you guys are hydrated. You guys here, guys healthy, right?
Creo que fácilmente, esto es simplemente para monitoring laundry. O sea que tú estás diciendo que si tú conoces.
Coach Ed, okay. That was you, Coach. All right. Yeah, you're good now. All right, guys. Hey, listen, we got our first trainer today. Gonna give up an awesome training, bro. Man, listen. I was asking, can I get a couple of minutes of their time? They're like, nah, bro, this is gonna be the best training out there. Get ready. All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen, when you go to train, you got something to write on and write with. All right, if you're here with nothing to write on and write with, go get something. All right, let's get better today. The reason why we show up to the gym is to get stronger. The reason why we show up to training is to get better. All right, so we're gonna get better. Y'all good with that?
Yes, sir.
All right, you know what's crazy, man, is that these guys who are about to come up on stage, right? They told, there's a saying out there, right? There's a saying that they said that they couldn't play football at all. No, let me say that again. Let me go back. Y'all ready for this? They couldn't play basketball, they weren't tall. They couldn't play football at all. But now every day of their life, they ball. Let's give it great.
Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing today? Awesome. Y'all fired up? Monday. Yeah. Awesome. Great. What day is it today? Today's December 8th. Awesome. How many of you guys already got your Christmas stuff already bought? Everything organized? No. All right. You guys are with me then. All right. Perfect. So, guys, today we're gonna pick the week off, right? We're gonna make sure that we get into a winning week mindset. Okay. That Mondays are super important for business, especially right if you are doing this part time or if you're full time here. Because guys, it's the beginning of the week, right? We got to make sure we get into the group. How many of you guys want to make some money this week? All right, awesome. How many of you guys want to get licensed as soon as possible, right? Perfect. So to make money, right? So in that case, guys, we got to make sure that we are in the right headspace, right? Early on in the week to make sure that we have a productive week, right? When it comes to field training, helping out clients, right? Making sure that we are moving the needle when it comes to our Primerica business and making sure that we have an amazing start of the year, right? So obviously, Eric, he mentioned, right, like these guys, it's super important that you guys have something to write with, or something, because you guys might hear something right now that might stick with you, might really help you guys out. And just because you guys didn't write it down, right, later when you get back to it, you forgot exactly what was said. Okay, so let's make sure, guys, that we get better today. You guys already took time out of your day to be here, so why not make something out of it, right? Why not get better? Why not progress, right? How many of you guys have had the year of 2025 that you guys wanted at the beginning of the year, right? Realistically speaking, I know for me it wasn't, right? There's a couple things on my vision board that haven't gotten hit, right? But the good thing is that we make adjustments, right? Right now, all of you guys should be looking at your year and see, okay, where can I make adjustments? Okay, what can I do better, right? Based on the things that I want to have, right? So if next year your goal, let's say, is to make your first $10,000 month, well, see exactly, okay, what does it take to make $10,000 a month, right? Is what production do I need, right? The people who make $10,000 a month here, what do they look like? What do they talk like? What are their hairstyles? Because I know something, that Primerica, it's a duplication business. That is what made me fall in love with Primerica early on. Why? Because I know if Brendan's having success and he's doing this and he's doing a system, well, guess what? If he teaches me that system, I'm gonna have the same exact results. Right, that is what I loved about Primerica, right? That it wasn't about like how Eric said, yeah, we played sports, but in sports, man, like if that position that you play is filled for that game, right? Guess what? Then you're not making that roster, or let's say that you're not tall enough, right? Those are things that we can't control. But how many people I talk to, I can control, right? How many presentations I get on, I can control. right? How many clients, right, that I conversate with and I do a game plan with, that I can control, right? So I like this game because this game I can control the results. Okay, so here we're gonna talk to you guys today about controlling results. What does that look like in Primerica, right? And how to get off to an explosive 2026. You guys excited? Fired up? All right, awesome. I'm passing it to Ali.
Let's go. Fired up, guys. Excited to be here. Thank you to Toga for giving us the opportunity to be up here sharing some nuggets with you guys. I see a bunch of new people, which is great. A little bit about our story. So we've been doing this business. We're coming up on 6 years on the 19th of this month, which is crazy, right? It's crazy how time flies. I was 20 years old when I signed my IBA. 2 months into doing this, I turned 21. So pretty much I started learning the business at 21, right? 5 years and a half, right? Found the business, at first I didn't know what the heck I was getting myself into. I'm sure Lewis wasn't either, but we believed the system. We saw Edward, he was making a bunch of money. He was a mutual friend of ours. And that's where number one, right? You got to recruit people, but get them off to a fast start in their hot market, warm market. A lot of the times we recruit people and we send them off to social media, they start recruiting people that they don't really know. And then they're wondering why their team is quitting. They're wondering why they're not retaining as many people, right? So the reason why I believe Edward's so good at the business at retaining people is because he's good at getting somebody from the warm market. And then we recruit people, they put us in front of their family. Guess what those are? Free leads. Who schedules those appointments? Do I have to schedule them? No, the recruit schedules them. So they're scheduled appointments.
Yeah, you're off the moon, bro. I don't know if you guys want to joke about hotspots so they don't miss it.
I got them going right now on the back.
And yeah, so free leads, scheduled appointments, and guess what? Are they cold market leads?
No.
They're hot leads because they're gonna go. So the only thing for you to feel here is for you to stop thinking like a business owner. As long as you're thinking like a business owner, you're always gonna find here. You're always gonna find a lead. Okay, number 4 is PDR, right? We got generate activity. Who's doing PDR with their team? Right, PDR, I know we're not, and that's why these trainings are so important because we gotta go back to that. I remember when we built our, should I wait for you guys? Did you get it? I remember when we built our, our $50,000 by $50,000 base shop that we had in 2024, we were doing PDRs 2 to 3 times a week. And the days that we couldn't make it, we had one of our leaders doing it, running the PDR. We didn't have a bunch of people. We had 4 to 5 people, but from those 4 to 5 people, that was Ryan in there, that was JJ in there, that was Leah. Right, we had Deshaun there. We had a bunch of people. Daynell as well. We had a bunch of people that we were able to develop and retain because of PDRs. Okay, so I'll ask you guys, right? Are you guys doing PDR with your team? Are you guys hosting licensing meetings? Right? Are you guys doing emergency meetings with your team? Right, and you don't have to be a leader in order to do that. As you're brand new, right? Start doing that with the 2 or 3 guys that you have, and I promise you, they're going to be just as good as you, if not even better. I don't know about you guys, but I want people on my team to be better than me. That shows I did a good job. Okay, that's leadership is influence, right? It's how does your team dress? How does your team talk? Right? How are your team's presentations? How are your team's numbers? Right? I want people on my team to do more personal production than me. That shows that I'm a good leader and I'm a good teacher at teaching people how to do personal production. Okay, number 5, Lewis.
Yeah, awesome, guys. And here you have to understand, guys, that the beautiful thing about the opportunity that we are in is that you guys don't have to be licensed to recruit anybody, right? Like when we were in our field training, we had done our first month, I think almost over 30 recruits. And personally, we had done like 6, right? It wasn't that much personally, but we just kept going, right? Like we didn't have no stop. It came to a point after day like 5 of us being in the business. I learned how to do an IBA on my first week here. I was already doing IBAs by myself. I wasn't even licensed submitting IBAs and near like doing orientations too. Why? Because we had so much activity, right? Edward was field training, Christian, which is one of our district leaders. We already had our district and we were helping. There was so much chaos that we had to get better for the team, right? If not, everything was going to go to crap, right? Meaning that, guys, you have to make sure that you guys get good at the business fast. Okay, if you guys are licensed, if you guys are trainer, you guys need to be focused on instilling confidence, okay, into your team. All right, how do you instill confidence into your team? 1, you get them results, right? Eden's been doing talking a lot about getting people results, and it works, right? Getting results is part of the job. If you don't get people results, it's never gonna happen. Right. And the second part of the job is making sure that you build belief into that person. Right. That person is is scared. They have never done a presentation. Most people are not good communicators, right? They are scared of doing a presentation. Okay, recruiting over. I have not. Okay, but I know if I help somebody put their $74, that might be the only thing that they have to their name, right? And they get licensed with us, right? And they are coachable. They give us 15 to 30 days to get them licensed. I know they're going to see some type of results here. If not, they're going to get better. If not, they're going to get a world-class education as to how money works, right? If not, well, guess what? They're going to learn sales skills, right? They're going to get good and competent when it comes to talking to people, right? You guys would not believe the amount of people that we know now that did Primerica, tried it, right? They learned a little bit. They came to these trainings every once in a while, and now they have business doing something completely different, right? Or they were once an agent, right? Now they have a family. Now they have a business, and they're clients because they realize that what we do here is great. Guys, so talk to everybody. What we do here is incredible. If we don't recruit, we're never going to be able to keep sharing that blessing.
All right, guys. And the next one here is we got to make sure we get 10 people, at least 10 people every single day to repost a flyer for us. And you could do that, guys, from the moment that you call them, right? From the moment you speak to that person, the moment you schedule that appointment, I want you guys to ask that person to post a flyer, because if they don't show up the next day, guess what? You already tapped into the market. Okay, they're doing the business without being in the business. Right? Success loves speed, right? So if you want to beat the speed, right, then you got to do it as soon as you're on the phone with them, all right? Number 8, focused incentives around DDR. Okay, DDR stands for double-digit recruiting, right? Double-digit recruiting. Anybody that does over 10 recruits a month, you can do that for your team. Maybe you take them out to lunch. Maybe you I don't know, spend some time with them on the weekend. Just focused incentives. If you want your recruiting numbers to grow, then you got to do focused incentives around DDR. You got to remember, guys. We can talk about recruiting in any business, right? If you think about a dealership, I used to park cars at Elder Ford, and when you think about a dealership, right? You got to think, okay, which one would you rather be? Would you rather be the dealership sales guy, or do you rather be the owner of that dealership? Which one? Owner, right? Why? The owner makes more money, right? Why does the owner make more money? Because he has a bunch of people selling cars for him. Does he have to be there? Not as much as the dealership salespeople. The dealership salespeople got to do maybe 50, 60, 70 hours a week. They got to work on holidays because they have the holiday specials, right? So that's when they do the most. You're going to see them there on Christmas. You're going to see them there on Thanksgiving because they got the Thanksgiving sales going on, right? You're going to see them on Black Friday. You're going to see them on New Year's Eve because they have the New Year's Eve car sales, going on. So at the end of the day, you got to identify which one do you want to be. Do you want to be the business owner, recruit people, teach people, train people, build a business, or do you rather just sell for the rest of your life, right? And build nothing from it. Okay. And you got to remember, right? There's going to be a lot of people that come in through these doors and they're going to leave the next day. That's fine. That's why it's called the 1% for a reason. 1% make it. The other 99% go work for the 1% that didn't quit. Right. So you gotta identify which one are you. Are you the 99% that quits, or are you going to be the 1% that stays and makes it big? Okay. So these are a few of the difference, right? We got 10 minutes, so we're good on time. But you got to remember, right? You got to remember, they say more recruits, more problems. I think more recruits, more problems solved. Okay. So you got to remember that the more people you have on your team, the more problems will be solved. You'll make more money, more production. You can have a horrible month, but guess what? You have a bunch of people on your team, they're going to have a great month. Okay. It's not just about you. It's about you and now a bunch of people. Okay. So these are the differences between a job and building a distribution business, right? And I want you guys to write these down, and it goes hand in hand. Number one, with a job, right? Why is a job? These are, pros and cons. A job, and this is not to to bash on jobs. If you have a job, you need a job. Hey, great, keep it. Build a business. That's why you're here. Build a business part-time, spare time on the side, so eventually you get things going, and then you could go full-time, right? But a job, what's one of the cons of having a job, right? Income is capped by hourly wage or salary. Okay, you're capped on the income that you could bring in. If they tell you, hey, look, it's 15, you're getting paid 15, 20 bucks an hour. There's not enough hours in the day for you to go out and make $1,000 in one day. That's why I prefer commission, because I'm hardworking, and I know if I want to make $1,000 a day, I know I just have to sell an $84 policy. At a job, you know that if you need $1,000 to pay rent tomorrow, you gotta wait 2 weeks for that check to cut, right? You gotta do whatever it takes, right? I don't know, you gotta, a credit card, now you're in more debt than you were before. Okay, distribution business, income is scalable without personal time limitations. Okay, that's why I like the business. Number two, for a job, you're trading time for money, must work to get paid, right? You gotta work to get paid. If you don't work, then you don't get paid. Our highest income months were the months we did the least in premium. Why? Because we had a big team. Okay, and obviously we should do more in personal premium, but that's just how it worked. The month we did 98,000 in personal and team premium, that month we did around 8 to 10,000 personal. Our organization did over 90,000 outside of us. Okay, this is not a business that you guys would want, right? But in order for that to happen, right, you guys have to make sure that you're recruiting. Okay, number two for distribution business, ability to earn overrides and passive income from the team production. Okay, I think it's fair. I teach you to make 10 grand a month. The company pays me $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Is that a bad business to be in? Right? So how many people like him do I want making 10 grand a month? As many as possible, 100, 200, 3,000, $10,000 a month. Right? I teach him to make 10 grand. The company pays me 1,000 to 2,000. It doesn't come out of his pocket, it comes out of the company's pocket. Sometimes we think that, oh, look, it's coming out of his cut. No, it's the company's paying me for that, because if it weren't for me teaching him how to make money, he wouldn't be making money. Right? So the company is going to take care of me. Number three for business, freedom to build your own schedule and work around your terms. Right? Anybody want to work on holidays? Right? No. Well, if you're scheduled to work on a holiday at a 9 to 5, if you don't show up, what happens? You get fired. Well, here I show up whenever I want because I'm my own boss. I control my own schedule. Right? I prioritize whatever I want to prioritize. No one's going to tell me what to do. Right? At a job, you have to ask your manager for permission to go use the bathroom. Anybody want to be in that situation? I know I don't. Right? I remember there's a story. I don't know the exact story, but I think it's Hector Lamarck. Hector Lamarck used to make, I think, over 70,000, 100,000 selling out of jewelry. Is that 70 grand? 70 grand a year, selling jewelry. And that's pretty good. That was back, 30, 40, 50 years ago. That's a long time ago. And one of the reasons why he quit selling jewelry at that time, 70,000 was probably equivalent to making $200,000, $300,000 a year because of inflation, was because he had, I think, his daughter's birthday party, right? What was it? His daughter's 5th birthday. He was scheduled to work. He called his boss and he told him, hey boss, it's my daughter's birthday. I got to spend some time with her. And he told him, no, you're scheduled to work. You got to show up. If you don't show up, you're fired. Right? And that's when he realized, okay, like, what's the point of money if I don't have freedom of time?
That's true.
Right? You can have all the money in the world. I know a bunch of people that make 100, 200 grand a year selling cars, but they're working 60, 70 hours a week. Right? What's the point of all that money if you don't have any time to use that money? Right? So I look at it like, okay, I'd rather make 100 grand and have, all the freedom of time than make 200 and be stuck at a job, with no time. Right? Time is money, and time is freedom. So we need that freedom of time. Then we got to build a business and be in a business where we have that freedom. Right? Which number 4, right? Job security dependent on employer's decision. Right? It's based on the employer's decision, right? Have you guys ever seen anybody start a job, they're making $50,000, $60,000 a year, and out of nowhere they're laid off? I've seen a few people. Do you think they had a choice? Oh, they didn't have a choice, right? So at the end of the day, right, that's a tough situation to be in, especially if you have 2, 3 kids. You got bills. You got $4,000 or $5,000 in bills, and now your $60,000, $70,000 a year job. Now it's not that, right? You don't got nothing. Right? That's a tough situation to be in, right? Control. Number 4, you control your growth, expansion, and financial ceiling, right? And then I'll have Louis here cover the last.
Guys,
5.
So this will be really good, right? So hopefully you guys are getting some stuff here, right? And the next on, did you guys already get 5? No, you guys are on 5. All right, perfect. So next up, guys, you guys understand that job, it raises promotions and that are very, very slow, limited, and based on approval. Okay, here, guys, you guys are blessed that you have an opportunity where you guys get paid exactly what you guys feel you guys are worth. right? If you guys want to get paid at a 50% contract district leader, you guys have to do a 3x3, you get it. If you guys want to get paid as an RVP, doesn't matter if you guys have been here for a year or 5 years, right? Well, guess what? You guys do the production and you guys get the vice president contract. That's what I liked about Primerica, that I could be 21 years old, right, and have my own office. All right, somewhere else, would they ever, you think Suncoast is ever gonna let a 21-year-old run their office? Even if they are the best freaking advisor, this guy has all the credentials, he has all the people skills, you think they'll ever do that? No, right? They never will, right? Why? Because they have somebody over them, right, that always is gonna put their thumb on them, that doesn't want someone younger to take over their position. Right here, I like it because it's free enterprise, right? Anybody can win here. If you guys want to go out there and win, you guys can do it. Okay, so your guys' opportunity is based on you guys. That's why I like this for someone who has a full-time job, who doesn't know what they want to do, because you can come in here, use your free time to make extra income, learn what the heck it is that you want to do, and then from there, transition, right? See what you guys want to go, but try something new. Try something out, right? Next up, let's go on to, right, in business, right, distribution, right, it leads to unlimited earning potentials, right, that's based on your performance, your leadership, and your team size, okay? And that's something that I can control. The size that my team gets, I can control. The amount of production that happens, guess what? I can control through my personal production, right, and through my influence. Next up, right, in distribution business, right, point number 6, right, you own your client base and your distribution network. Right, at a job, you have little to no ownership of the company or clients. Okay, meaning that you are putting all this effort, all this work, right, into something that later on it's an asset. So think about this, right? When you have a job, you are renting at an apartment, right? When you have a business, right, you have a piece of land. Okay, you have acres of land, right? The bigger your business, the more acres of land you have, right? The more acres you have, the more space you have to get creative with your business. Okay, I like that because here I know that I'm working towards something that tomorrow, if I get it to a certain point and I want to exit or I want to transition, I have leverage in here, right? Because there's something called ownership, right? Where we own our book of business. All right, and that is something that's super, super powerful. Okay, next up, point number 7. All right, and the work, right? You know, work contributions often outweighs paid received, right? Meaning that you are overworked and underpaid, right? While in distribution, right, at a job, number 7, or at a business, compensation directly reflects impact, production, and team duplication. Okay, meaning that the good thing is that we control our income, right? We can control our growth, right? We can control exactly how much we are going to get compensated at the end of the day for the work that we put in. What I like about Primerica, it is that it is there's a low transaction amount, right? There's a high dollar amount per transaction. Okay, meaning that if I sell lollipops, how much can I sell a lollipop for? Let's say I sell them for $5. I get them for $3, right? These are like the craziest, best lollipops in the world, right? That means that I only make $2. How many lollipops do I have to sell in a month to make $1,000? Bro, you have to know 1,000 people that buy these freaking one-of-a-kind lollipops off of you, right? But if I sell life insurance, a client pays $84 a month, right? They're going to pay this long-term, right? Because they need the insurance long-term. The company's going to give me a percentage of what that client's going to pay their first year, right? Usually in a lump sum of anywhere from $300 to around $800, right? While you guys first get licensed. All right. I like that because, man, if I just help out 2 clients a month with their life insurance, okay, I can make an extra $1,000 a month, right? $1,000 a month, that goes a long way for a lot of people. How many of you guys could pay your car insurance and your car note with $1,000, right? How many of you guys could maybe, I don't know, maybe move out or get a roommate or maybe help your parents out with an extra $1,000 or have the extra savings that you guys want or pay down the credit cards that you guys don't want to have? Okay, that only happens if we are focused on doing it like this. Okay, and the last one, I'll give it over to Ale. So he can.
The last one here, guys, is limited ability to scale beyond your personal capacity. That's for a job, right? You're very limited. You can't grow. I mean, you're stuck in an environment with a bunch of other people that don't self-develop, that don't read books, that don't wake up at 5 in the morning to hit the gym, right? They don't have a business mindset. Here, you're waking up, you know, you're coming to work with people that dress up nice, that drive good cars, that have a good family life, that have, that are in great relationships, right? And it's a copycat business, right? So you hang around with those people and eventually your lifestyle will be just like those people, right? You are who you hang around with. You hang around with 4 broke people, guess who's gonna be the fifth? You're gonna be the fifth, right? You hang around with 4 wealthy people, eventually you're gonna be the 5th wealthy person in that group, right? Now, for distribution business, right? Scale exponentially by developing leaders and expanding distribution, guys. To wrap this all up, guys, you're in a losing game from day one at a job. Right, you're in a losing game, right? It's if you have a job, great, but the goal is you're in this business to get out that job eventually. Okay, and that's the goal here, man. But I'm excited. You guys get better today. You guys learned something. Again, thank you to Toga for giving us a blessing, the opportunity to be up here and talk to you guys. We're gonna turn this thing up. I know our team is excited to have an amazing month. And so I'll go ahead and pass it over to my coach, my trainer, my mentor, Eric Ortiz.
Hey, great job, brother. Great job. Listen, I know we had some technical difficulties, but it was awesome, man. Great training, guys. Thank you, Carmelo brothers. I love you guys. Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, let's get right into it, man. Listen, they talked about the difference between being I don't want to say that. Yeah, an employee to a business owner. All right. And you want to make sure that you understand that there's a huge difference. Employees is great, nothing wrong with employees, we love them to death, right? But if you want to become a business owner, you gotta act like a business owner. There's a ton of perks to becoming a business owner, right? And in fact, one of the presentations that I fell in love with is how we get paid, right? Who here wants to make money? I'm talking about serious money.
Yes.
All right, good, perfect. Now let me expand your mind real quick. Who's been in this business for less than a month? All right. So Jacob, let me ask you this. If somebody told you, if you told somebody that person makes a lot of money on a monthly basis, what amount of money is that? There's no wrong answer. This is your point of view. If you say that person makes a lot of monthly income, what amount of money is that?
At least 10.
All right, so if somebody makes $10,000, you're like, or $15,000 or even $20,000, you're like, damn, they're balling. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Like 20,000 a month. So you say that they're killing it right now.
Not killing it, but they balling.
So if they make 30,000 a month, killing it? Yeah, bro. Listen, when I first started, listen, if you made 5,000 a month, you're balling, right? So this business is so awesome because it takes you from that 5,000 a month to start seeing other people make that type of money, and you start saying, man, if they can do it, why not me, right? Why not me? And Jason, before can you give me the financial independence book, please? Well, let me show you guys this real quick. Let me expand your mind. The reason why you do goals is so that you hit them, right? That you hit them. You want to make goals possible, right? And the reason why we do this business is because we don't want you stuck where you're at forever, right? We want you thinking beyond. In fact, we're going to go through something called the dream life, the dream financial life, right? Because having a dream life isn't just about having money, right? But let's say you have a dream financial life. And Jason, you give me whatever year. And if I say, okay, listen, your dream life, and I'm not going to ask any of the VPs here, but I am going to ask people in the audience, right? Thank you, brother. If I were to ask you guys, if you had a dream life, listen, there's no limit on your income. How much would you like to have a budget for monthly for cars?
10,000.
I said not your VPs.
I'm an SVP.
Yeah, not VP. VP. Right? What would y'all say?
40. It's my favorite 40.
That's $5,000.
Time out, guys. Listen, you can go out the road, get a Range Rover, or is there a Rolls Royce?
Yep.
And it's only going to be like 2,500 a month. You know?
All the things are more.
Oh, thank you.
Nothing.
2,500 a month, right? It depends on what you put down, right? But what would you guys say? Monthly for cars?
50 grand.
A month for a lease, dog, for a lease of finance.
10. No,
All right, let's do 10,000.
10,000 fly cars.
20,000. All right, now, this is temporary, all right? This is temporary, because when you make this type of money, you shouldn't have a mortgage on your house, right? But if you had to have a mortgage on a house, right? Right now, we live in a nice house, our mortgage is around 5,000 a month, right? What would be a mortgage for you guys? What would be an amount that you like to allocate for your house?
35,000 or 3,500 $4,000.
4 grand?
Yeah.
Let's do 4 grand.
That's a week.
All right, 4 grand. Now, let's say you want to allocate vacations, because when you're making this type of money, you're not always here at the office. If you follow a guy named Keith Otto, he figures out how to fit Primerica into his schedule, right? Because he's traveling to he's traveling to New York, he's traveling to, Germany, he's traveling to Dubai, right? So on a monthly basis, to allocate funds for a vacation, for you and your family, or you and your spouse, how much do you want to have?
A year, you said, coach?
A month
I think 5 days is good. For vacation?
for vacation? 5,000? 5,000 a month. All right, so savings. You want to put money aside, this is not, obviously you want to spend our money, but you want to save money as well too. How much you want to put away for savings monthly?
If we're spending 10 on a car, for my savings gotta be up there.
What do you want?
30, like 30.
20.
20? All right, 20.
Hey, coach, can I ask you a question? Do you want this, cause this is like America talk, are we talking to like what most people out there, or do you want us to be like, what we want specifically?
No, what you want?
Okay.
What you want? All right. Now you have kids, you gotta get through this. You have kids, you have college, right? You have, whatever the case may be, how much you want to set aside for private education? Because right now, if you're a multi-millionaire, right? I mean, chances are you want your kids to be in nicer schools, right? And so where do you want your kids to go? How much you want to set aside a month for them?
5,000.
That covers a lot.
Right? 5,000 is good. Hey, if somebody can highlight me as well too, Brendan, on Zoom, that'd be great. Now, clothing, ladies. I know gentlemen like to buy some nice clothes as well too, but this is a question for the ladies. On a monthly basis, Brendan, if somebody can highlight me, that'd be great. I'm not highlighted, I'm not spotlighted because I'm not up there.
You're on the bottom.
Yeah, that's me. That's my screen. All right, perfect. All right, so if you would want on a monthly basis to go shopping every single month, what would that amount be? Got me. Natalie,
Say that.
$1,000. All right.
Shit, that's not.
Five. Let's raise it up to 2 grand. Hey, we gotta do this. Let's do 2 grand. 2 grand. 2 grand a month. And beginning of the month, hey wife, here's $2,000, or here husband, here's $2,000 for clothing, right? Spouse allocation. You just say, hey, listen, every single month, I think the biggest flex you can give your spouse, whether it be husband or wife, right, is giving them, hey, listen, this money here is just for you. Don't worry about it for bills. Don't worry about it this is for you, right? How much money would that be?
3 grand. 5.
No.
So do 3 grand.
Just for nothing
All right, giving. How much money would you like to tithe, give to charities?
10%. So like, 10% would be like, maybe like 25,000 with this, the 10% is gonna be.
Well, give me a number. Give me a number
I said 1,000.
for giving.
10%. Yeah, what percentage y'all getting now? I bet nobody here did 10%.
Let's take
Y'all lying.
Well, we're getting $120,000 a year just on phone.
Right, by car.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
10,000?
People are not gonna give 10,000 away.
Can't beat.
There's not
I
getting
think
any
a lot
money.
of the savings.
Now, fun money. This is money that you just like, hey, this is for saving, this is for me just going out and having a good time.
A month?
But that's just.
10 G's.
8.
I say 2,500, like at most. What am I doing?
I'm gonna go right in the middle, I'm gonna say 5,000. I'm gonna go 5,000. Hey, listen, you guys are going off topic. You guys going off topic. Let's stay on track, man. I only got 20 more minutes. I got a lot of training. Retiring parents.
That's about 5 grand a month. 5 grand.
2,500.
10 both parents. 10 total, 5 each? Yeah.
5 each, 10,000?
10 grand a month. Separate parent?
Yeah,
2 separate.
I think we should do 5,000 on that.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
okay.
5,000. Brandon, can I have it, somebody can give me my charger on the desk in the back? Food and entertainment, remember, you already have fun money, you have 5,000 for fun money, this is just going out to eat, nice restaurants, right, experiences. $2 grand? And then self-care, this is, you know, hair, nails, $1,000. All right, real quick, who has, huh? $72,000.
A month.
$72,000 a month is gonna design your dream life, right? 72 grand is gonna, now at your job, how long will it take you to make $72,000 a month?
Never.
So you have a dream life, but you don't have the vehicle to get you that dream life. The reason why we take these trainings so serious is because you know what your dream life is supposed to look like. And this is the only way that you guys can get there. The only way. And all we ask is that you just show up, you learn, you get better, you do what you're supposed to do. And I guarantee you 72,000 for us is a bad month.
That's true.
It's a bad month. And you're saying right now, if I have $72,000, I can live a dream life. What a flex, man. Let me show you real quick. Listen, here's the game plan. First of all, you have to know, guys. Good presentation there. Oh, it is. Right? You have to understand that there's a $49, you gotta build your business. You cannot do it solo, right? You gotta build a business to take advantage of this $40, $42, $74 IBA. You gotta build your soldiers. Imagine if you're the best soldier out there, but you go into war. You're gonna get capped, you're gonna get killed, right? The only way for you to go to war is for you to have a freaking squad. Don't tell me all investments, I can do it by myself on investments. Yeah, you can do it on investments, but I would rather have a team of investment people, right, than just me by myself, right? So go out there and find some people. I don't care if they don't have any background in finance. You just want soldiers that you can teach them how to get better and get them to their dream life, right? Because look how awesome this contract is. Everyone's like, man, Primerica this, Primerica that. If you truly utilize our contract, you should always make money in this business. Always, right? Because look, this is you right here. Now, you want to figure out how much you want to make monthly. Right now, the main goal is $72K a month. But start off with something. Start off with something. This month, I'm going to make $1,000. And if you've made 1,000 before, double it. And this month, I'm going to make 2,000. If you've made 2,000, get up to 5, right? 1, 2, 5, and then 10, and then 20, and then 50, and then 100. Does that make sense? Right? If you don't do it that way, you're always going to be trying to get that 5,000, right? Or that 4,000. This business is not catered to somebody who wants to think small. All right? So look, boom, boom, boom. District leader, if you raise your hand, who's the district leader in this room? District leader. This is when you utilize your contract fully, this is how you get paid. All right? You personally, you had a 50% contract, but you have 3 people minimum on your team. You probably have a lot more, right? But you have something called qualified reps. That means they're doing what they're supposed to do. All right? They're just not showing up and doing nothing. They're putting some skin in the game. They're closing. They're doing something. So this is you going out there leading from the front, qualifying, and then you have 3 reps on your team that are minimum doing 1,000 in premium, right? So you personally go out and do 2,500. You're gonna get paid $1,250 on your own pen, right? But you also, listen, there's something called fixed indexed annuities. If you have a life license, you can still do fixed indexed annuities, right? Is it the best thing out there for the client? Who knows? Might be a client that doesn't want any risk. Don't know, right? But that is a great product to do. But let's say you did your securities license as well too, and you did 50,000 in securities volume. If you're out there working, you're gonna come across 50,000, right, Brendan? If you're on appointments, you're gonna just trip over $50,000. People have that in their savings account, don't know what to do with it, and they're waiting for somebody to talk to them what to do, right? 50,000. And then not only that, but you have these reps out there that aren't just coming into office and doing nothing. They're doing $1,000 each in premium. You heard Alin, right? What's $1,000? How much does that policy need to be? $84. They're just doing maybe one $84 policy for the month, or maybe two $40 policies for the month. Who cares, right? They're doing at least $1,000. So you get an override of $750 as a district. So if you're a district leader, you should, if you follow this strategy, you should on a monthly basis be making around $28.75 a month consistently, residually. If you just follow this. What I would do is I will put a little chart in your office or on your phone and say, did I do my 2,500 yet? Am I trying to do 50,000? Do I have a team of 3 people at least doing 1,000 each? Because now you know for a fact the numbers are there. If you guys do that, you're making this type of money, right? But more importantly, as a district, you should learn how to do a winning presentation. There's a reason why you're a district leader and not a division leader, right? As a district leader, you should learn how to do a winning presentation. You should learn how to get licensed. You should learn how to self-develop. When we leave this parking lot, we should not hear music. We should hear voices in our car, right? We should hear audios. We should see books. We should see people reading, getting better. Trust me, if you don't get better, somebody's going to pay you to work for them at a job. And there goes your $72,000 dream. You got to learn how to recruit. You got to learn how to close. That is the job description as a district leader. Once you've mastered all 5 of those, then you're going to naturally become a division leader. And as a division leader, you're at a 60% contract, a little bit better. But more importantly, look at this. This is what your team looks like now. You have some reps on your team. Reps are responsible for how much? 1,000, right? You have some reps on your team, but you've also developed a district leader. So that and no matter what, any position, you're going to have some overrides. And overrides is something very beautiful, right? Very nice, but you shouldn't depend on overrides, right? So look, this is what your contract should look like now. Who here's a division leader? Awesome, awesome. So now you have a game plan. As a division leader, right? $2,500 a month. You should be making $1,500 on your own pin, plus your overrides, right? You should be on a monthly basis making on $37.35 or $37.37 every single month if you follow this game plan. That's equivalent to a $44,000 a year job, right? So you gotta see, man, if I'm a division leader, I'm not doing this. Where am I slacking? Where is an area that I can get better in, right? Guys, we are in the money business. If we were in construction, we would come home with dusty boots and mud on our face. If we were in gardening, we should come in with soil on our fingernails. But we're in the money business. So what should we bring home? Money, right? Money. Does that make sense? Yeah. And as a division leader, some of the things you should learn is how to duplicate yourself. You should learn how to become a leader. Leaders aren't born, man, they're created. You should learn how to help somebody get licensed. You should study for your next life exam or next license. You're 26, 65, 63, whatever the case may be, there's always a test you can study for, right? And the more licenses you have, the more opportunities you have to make money, all right? You like that German I brought out? Yeah. No. But look how awesome this is. So once you mastered this, once you've mastered what to be learned as a division leader, right? The next contract is your regionals. Regional just means almost there. Don't quit. Stay focused. At regional, right, Ryan? You should have those. What they call in Spanish? The horse. What do they call blinders? You should have the horse blinders up. Because regional, that's where you get the most distracted. That's when you get some semi opportunities come your way. That's when you start making a little bit of money. Think you can do stuff your own way, right? That is when you can get super off focus, right? Regional leader is when you dial in, you get focused, you get ready, right? Because look, this is your team as well. A rep should be making what? Should be doing what? 1,000, right? But you also have a district leader team, another district leader team, and a division team. This is what your team should look like. Gabby got me on this app, what's it called, what's it called, Simplify? Simple Minds. You should draw out your team. Eliminate the zeros, add more zeros, right? And look, this is now what your contract should look like. You should have premium since you're getting that this year, you're right there at RVP, man, you should be doing a little bit more, right? So you should be doing around 3,000 of personal premium. These are low numbers, right? We usually focus on at least 10,000. You should be doing some securities volume. You should be getting some overrides from your team. They should also be doing some securities volume, getting paid. You're getting an override on your securities business as well too. As a regional leader, you should be averaging around $5,900 a month. $5,900 a month residually, right? Because you're doing the little things, right? You're doing the little things. Now, there are teams out there, regional leader teams out there, way bigger than this, but make less money than this. That just tells me there's certain things that they have to master. They have to master how to run meetings. They have to master how to develop people. This is the biggest part. They have to manage their back office, learn about QBI. Is there a way to promote somebody with a crappy QBI? No. So you got to master that. You got to master how to run solo meetings, keep track of business. I know Ethan and Natalie are going to do huge things because they do solo meetings. They track business. They have good QBI. They just need a securities license. Come on, dog. They need how to overcome adversity. When you become a regional, do you think there are going to be already some people who quit on you? Do you think there's already some chargebacks happening, Nelson? Right? Do you think there's going to be some crap that happens to you? When you're about to hit a massive accomplishment, bad things typically happen. Bad things, death in the family, you get sick, you get hurt, somebody on your team is messed up, there's a fight within your team. Just expect that going on this journey. It's supposed to happen, right? Do you think any Super Bowl winner ever got to the Super Bowl without being a little hurt? A little beat up? No, bro, it happens. But look how awesome this business is, man. Once you're a regional leader, that's what your business looks like. You go RVP. You got to give up your best leg. You got to give up your best person. Nelson went to RVP, gave up Ethan, right? Your best people, you got to give up. That just says that, hey, coach, thank you so much for giving me this promotion. Here's my best guy. Let me go build it myself, right? That's just all it means. Nothing against your RVP. Actually, it's a compliment. It's a compliment. In fact, listen, in this book right here, y'all know what this book is?
Yeah.
Somebody who's not been in the business long. Y'all know what this book is? In order to be in this book, you got to make over $100,000 a year in our business. And you get this ring. Put your rings up, guys. Here's the rings. Here's the rings. Right? Like all the people in the room right now, it's powerful, man. All the people in this room that make over $100,000 a year in this business, minimum. In this book, you have to make at least 100,000. So you can see it's not just one or two people. It's not just one or two people. These are the people making 100,000 to $250,000, not just one or two. And then you have the people that make over, 100,000 or 250,000 to 500,000. Not just one or two people. And then you have the people that make, 500 to 750,000. And then you have the people that make 750 to $1 million. And you have our millionaires. Yeah, the way I looked at this book wasn't like, damn, that's a lot of people making 100,000. I looked at this book and I opened it up and I pointed to somebody and I said, man, if Sish and Brent Remsen out of San Antonio can make 100,000, why not me? Why can't I find somebody in my team to make over 100,000? I see Julian, he looks way better than them, right? Why not Julian, right? Why not Nelson? Why not Shania, right? And so look, as an RVP, this is how your business should look like. As an RVP, you should be making around $13,000 a month. Who here in this business has parents that make over $13,000 a month? Who have 13? So this is a great way for you guys to retire your parents. At this time, you should be looking at, Mom, Dad, listen, I'm on track. Give me another couple of years, give me 2 years, I'm gonna retire you guys. And use that as motivation. Everyone, what's the saying you always say? It takes one parent to raise 4 kids, or one parent to raise 3 kids.
Okay.
Yeah, how can one parent, that's good, yeah, how can one parent or 2 parents raise 4 kids, but 4 kids can't retire their parents? Right? So look, man, as an RVP, right, you're doing personally as well, you don't stop doing personal premium. You're not a rhyme, right? You don't stop doing personal premium. You're out there still doing investment volume. You're out there giving great overrides, right? You also have a bonus as an RVP. So an RVP starting off should be making around $13,200 a month. Doing it the right way. If you look at this and you're like, man, I'm not making $13,000 a month. Figure out areas that you need to improve in, right? And then just check them off. But as good as that is, right, as an RVP, learn how to be time efficient, how to be structured, how to build teams, right? How to lead from the front, take control of your business, and more importantly, man, compliance. This is a money business. The only thing that will take you out of this business is if you're not compliant. If you're not compliant, Primerica will fire you, right? So be compliant. Look, 20 by 20, this is the starting point. This is when you start seeing true wealth in our business, Sir Jacob. This is when you start seeing true wealth, you start separating yourself from your peers. Edward, do you still hang out with some of your guys from high school?
No.
Right? Could they, are they still doing the same stuff that they've been doing in high school?
Most of them.
Yeah, my guys, the same thing. I had a 20-year anniversary reunion with my high school. Brendan was with me. And these guys are still doing the same crap that they did in high school. Still partying their tails off every Friday, every Saturday, and going back to work on Monday, right? Not having anything saved, struggling. You know, there's a saying where it's another day, another dollar. Yeah, how you doing, Josh? Oh man, another day, another dollar, right? That just means that they have a job. They have no foresight. They have no future that they see. It's just another day. I just made another dollar. That's it. That's not the life I want to live, man. Look, as a 20 by 20 RVP, right here is when you start separating yourself from your peers. This is when you start getting doctor money. The average doctor in Tampa makes around $15,000 to $16,000 a month. And $8,000 of that goes to student loans. Right?
That part.
And so look, this right here, no education, no loans, you're making about $195,000 a year as a qualified regional vice president. But then a lot of us come to these trainings, we don't take notes, we don't try to get better. I know it's not you guys in the room, but there are some people out there that do that. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Crazy to think that. And most people be like, man, I'm content with 16,000. But Edward, when you start making 16,000, Brendan, when you start making 16,000 a month, what typically happens?
You want more?
You start thinking, hey, 20,000 sounds nice. 25,000 sounds nice. 30,000 sounds nice, right? So look, as a senior vice president, see, now we're talking about rare air, right, Ryan? We're talking about rare air here. Y'all excited about this?
Yeah.
You have a team of RVPs doing things. You're now a senior vice president in our business, right? As a senior vice president, this is what your money should look like. You should have a personal and base. You should be making around 18,000 on your own base, your base shop. You have a team of RVPs, right? And you're making around 6,300 in overrides. Overrides mean you didn't do anything, but because you helped them out get to where they are, you get compensated on that forever. But then as an SVP, you also get a sick bonus. So the average income for a senior vice president on $17,000 or $27,000 a month. So Jacob, you said 30,000, they're balling, right? Edward and Gabby on average make around 40 to 60,000 a month. Guys, I'm telling you, this business is incredible. It's incredible. There's no one out there like this, right, Jessica? There's no one out there like this. And that's just a senior vice president. There's another position called a national sales director. As a national sales director, this is what your business looks like. You have some RVPs, you have RVPs who have RVPs, right? And as a national sales director, this is what your business looks like. On average, you should be making around $45,000 a month based on your business. Is this too much money for y'all? I see some yawns in the audience. Another 45,000, I can't imagine myself doing that.
Can't comprehend.
I don't understand it. Listen, if you are making $45,000 a month, you're probably living somewhere else than you're living right now. You're probably driving something better than you're driving right now. You're probably sleeping a little bit better because you're not worrying about the bills of next month. And you're probably excited because next month you have a vacation somewhere else. I'm telling you, man, this stuff gets me fired up. You know why it gets me fired up? Because we've made 45,000. In fact, 45,000, we made that years ago, right? But what gets me fired up is when I see Edward, when I see Camejos, when I see Casas, when I see Asayas, when I see the Riveras, when I see, Tony Lockett, Brian Turner making this type of money as well too, right? It's not about how much money you make, guys. You gotta understand that. Please understand that. It's you, George, showing somebody else how to make this type of money and getting them free, right? You think if Edward was at a job last year and his parents had the medical condition that they had, you think he had time to spend time with them at a job? God, we have something special here, man. $516,000 a year is the average income for a national sales director. But look at this, man. End game, right? Senior national sales director. This is what your business looks like. As a senior national sales director, this is when you're like, you know what? You may think the job is done, Josh, but the job isn't done until these are senior national sales directors.
Sure.
That's when our job is done. That is why we show up early here at the office. That is why we stay later here at the office. We stay as much as we can, right? Because we need to make sure that we have legacy as senior national sales director. ATP senior national sales director. Is there something going on? What's that noise? Oh, okay, gotcha. Right, so a lot of people doing this because as a senior national sales director, this is what you're looking at. You have a personal base, right? You have bonuses, you have overrides, you have other bonuses, right? $84,000 a month. Dream life is what? 72,000. So I have the dream life plus an extra 12,000 to spare. Where else? What else can I start thinking and helping you guys think bigger? There's more out there. All you have to do is show up, get better 1% every single day. Just keep hiring people. Right, but then you ask yourself, man, what is 84,000 a year, right? That a year, that's $1,014,000. It's a lot of money, right? Yep. Y'all don't know how big that is, man. Look, $1,014,000 is around $83,000 a month. Y'all know how much 83,000?
That's a whole lot.
Y'all still don't understand it, man. That's around 20,000 a week. You go on vacation for a week, Eric, you come back, another 20K in your bank. Oh, I didn't spend it all, another one's coming in, right? No, you still don't understand that, bro. Listen, there's more. That is equivalent to $2,900 a day. My rent is whatever, $2,000 a month. Well, let me just wait till tomorrow to pay it. So I'll get paid another $2,900 tomorrow. Right? Oh, I got, how much are Gucci shoes now? About 1,500? Nice ones? 1,000. I want to get a pair for me and my wife. Oh, it's around 2,500, 3,000. Oh, let me just wait till Wednesday. That's when I can get paid. 3,000, right? Or a little bit more. I wait till tomorrow. 3,000. Y'all still don't understand it. Bro, that's $124 an hour. That is equivalent to $2 a minute. Just by me saying $2 a minute, I got paid $2. For that minute. And that evening, another $2. Right? That's equivalent to 3 pennies a second.
Green.
There it is. What business? See, listen, guys, listen. When you build your business, and y'all probably saw this before, but when you build your business, at first, it's gonna look super, super sloppy. And people are gonna pass by your construction site, probably make fun of you. Hey, you got a bum living on your construction site. Hey, you got crap everywhere, you got tools everywhere. They're making fun of you left and right. Does that happen when you start a business? When you start a business by yourself? You're gonna start a business, you're gonna do Primerica thing, right? Oh man, that don't work. Come join me in the broke clan. Come join me. But that's what your business looks like, bro. It looks like crap when you first started. The first 17 months of you building any business, it looks like crap. Talk to any business owner out there. Ask any business owner out there, when did you start making revenue? When did you start making profit? And they're never ever gonna say immediately. It's always a year or two after they start. But the next year, like you start off your business, it looks like that. The next year, guess what, guys? It still looks like crap. It's a little bit more organized. A lot more things moving around, right? A lot more things starting to settle. Now you're having, a little bit of, cranes coming in, a little bit more, function, chaos, controlled chaos. That's what happens on your second term in business. You're just trying to figure crap out. The third term comes, right? Looks a little bit better, starting to smooth out a little bit. You got systems in place, you're learning, you're getting better, you're self-improving, right? Things are starting to smooth out. Then it starts looking better. And then eventually you're gonna look back and say, damn, dude, I just built Tower 1. Tower 1. That thing ain't going anywhere anytime soon. If you look at any Primerica business out there that just keeps growing, it's because they have a Tower 1 business. They have a great foundation with recruits, with premium, with promotions, with people making cash, licenses, right? And it just keeps building from there. Our job right now, guys, listen, isn't to build one Tower 1. Our business is to build multiple Tower 1s. I'm trying to build cities, right? I need to make sure that everybody in this room has freedom, has that dream life where you're like, damn, how stupid was I to think 72,000 was enough? I need to be making 100,000 a month, 200,000 a month, 500,000 a month, right? Guys, I'm telling you, this business is an incredible business if you show up, if you come on time, if you get better, right? Just plug into your upline. Plug into your upline. Your upline is here getting better so that you can be better, right? Plug into the system. I challenge you guys, the rest of this year, Edward said it, man, listen, you gotta make sure you're already planned out 2026. You cannot go into 2026 without knowing what you want in 2026. I challenge you guys by the end of this week to have your goals already written out for 2026, right? Or you're gonna get into it and you're like, damn, what am I doing? 2027 is gonna be my year, right? That happens. But let's get after it, man. I'm so proud to be y'all's teammate, man. I'm so proud to, get after it with you guys. Let's go after it, man. Let's go do some big things. Y'all good with that?
Yes, sir.
Y'all know who we are. We are.
Amen.